Hello and welcome to Brett Dupree's Awesome Health Journey. I'm of course Brett Dupree, because who else would I be? It'd be really weird if I was like, "Hello, I'm Jonathan Schmegden's health journey. I'm your host, Brett Dupree, here to talk about Jonathan Schmegden." Um, I don't know why the last name I came up was Schmegden. I don't even know if that is a last name, but it was the best I could to try to create a last name of somebody I don't know. Anyway, today I am talking about this. This is a tiger's eye pendant. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because one thing I like to do for myself is a practice of reminding myself of something that I'm working on, particularly in my life, and wearing that as a necklace around me. And every time I notice it, to remind myself of that thing. The thing that I'm wearing is Tiger's Eye, which is self confidence and self worth, and also like masculinity as well, fire, if you will, like a fire sign. And I did it once before Tiger's Eye many years ago, but I gave that one away, I think, or I don't want to wear it anymore anyway, because this is a new chapter and I need a new crystal to do so. This is something I do periodically. I wear a crystal around my neck to remind myself, and when I feel it, then I let it go and generally get a new one. I just cycle through them as I need to remind myself certain things. And the reason why I'm picking self worth is, like I've said in many videos ago, is my self worth got really low. And I understand. I posted this on Facebook and Instagram where people are telling me you are worth a lot or more than you know, and that's nice and all. I agree, but there's a difference between understanding it here and just feeling it here. And just to be honest, I'm not feeling it there as much. I mean, I started feeling it more and more and more, especially now that I'm in better shape. My physical shape and my self worth are very tied together. Because, well, yeah, just something I noticed. And honestly, just I'll talk about this later, but going through a depression and everything. And yeah, not feeling relatively attractive, especially with my weight. It's not, letting go of the light worker Toastmasters. That really hit my self worth, having to let that go, and kind of letting go all the personal growth things that I was doing, and really looking into that hit my self worth and self confidence. And sometimes what's going on in the world kind of hits it as well. This hopelessness that can happen if you focus on the negative parts of life. And there's a lot of negatives in life. And that also hits my self worth when I focus on it too much. And so I wear that so every time, it hits me and I'm like, oh yeah, I am worth something. Yeah, I am awesome. I do have great qualities. And just as a constant reminder of yourself, because, it's easy to forget, especially when things in life don't go the way you want it to. Like, yeah, being in that relationship that I was in and thinking that would go all the way to marriage and life together. That, the part that I couldn't make it work hits my self worth. It's like something wrong with me, why that didn't work. And it's easy to do so, even if it is nothing wrong with me, we just weren't that compatible. It's not that much different. I mean, I don't think life really is that much different than if when you're children and your parents get divorced and all of a sudden you think it's you, when a lot of times it isn't. Like sometimes you get laid off. I remember the layoff that happened in 2015 that I hit my self worth a lot. And it had nothing to do with my performance. It's just because Bill Gates sold the company. And yeah, those things just happen. And things happen in life, or sometimes you're just having a bad day and a bad thing happens, and it can snowball. And those things happen. And I've had a hard, pretty much since 2015, honestly. I've had a hard time. I had a brief respite in like 2018, 2019, but like then COVID happened. So it's just been a hard 5 years, 7 years, 7 years, Jesus, at least 6 years in some regards, especially when it comes to who I am and what I want to do in the world. But I am starting to go out and see the light at the end of the tunnel. I do feel better about myself. I feel better about the life I'm living, and I feel better about where I'm going. I'm hoping in a month from now I'm not laid off because fucking government shuts down. But there's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, so basically that's why I got the Tiger's Eye, to remind myself that I am worthy. And just something it's always good to do, ways you want to feel about yourself is to remind yourself of it, because sometimes you're going to forget. I know I do. But it's always good to do affirmations or journal positive aspects, or listening to songs that make you feel that way, the way you want to feel. The more you feel something, the more you will feel something. And so the more I remind myself that I'm awesome, and the more I'll feel awesome, and the more I'll believe it. And that's why I do it, because I love me. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day. I know. I should come up with a way to end these.